All right, guys, I guess it's time for your quarterly update on what's going on here at Redneck Manufacturing. We haven't been posting a whole lot of videos. We're getting close to Christmas, and like I say, we started that laser engraving business. It's been keeping us very busy up until the holidays. It's starting to slow down now. We have one more craft show to go to this Saturday, but I just wanted to give you a little update here. Yeah. There's something missing here, and if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know what that is. The JD350 Dozer is now sitting right outside that door. I'll take you out there. It is dark. We'll get a flashlight, get you lit up best I can, and show you what we got going on. But what mayhem do we have going on here? Well, woodworking stuff. Had the skid steer out to pick that up and take it outside. It's crazy what's going on around here. So yeah, let's go outside and we'll show you what we got out there. All right, guys, we're just gonna do a little walk around here, a little voiceover. In the rear, you can see those red things that turns orange when the light hits it. Those are actually 3D printed plugs. If you guys are doing an old restoration project like this, showing some of the grease here on the rear, if you're doing a restoration project and you have a 3D printer, you have an exceptional tool. As you can see, all of my orifices, I tried to put a couple layers of rubber gloves, electrical tape. On the front here, you'll notice that there's a lot of grease down towards the bottom end. Really couldn't get in there real easy with scrapers or anything like that. So we're just gonna power wash that out. Again, just kind of showing the rubber gloves with the electrical tape. And here we have a garbage bag around the wiring harness. Now we're gonna look at the engine. Yeah, you can see the grease and the grime and the dirt that's built up on this thing. And you'll see when it's all said and done, there's still a little bit of grease and grime on it. About 99% of it will be gone, but there are still some areas where I'm going to have to go in there. I may have missed it with the power washer. I'll have to hit it with a scraper, but just kind of showing you the overall areas. Here's inside the exhaust. Couldn't get there with a scraper. Some areas here, that's like carbon built up for an exhaust leak and dirt. But it's amazing how this stuff was basically like concrete on here, between the dirt and the old grease. And I guess it's just baked on and seasoned on there. You can see on the side there's a lot of paint missing. So yeah, just taking another look around here. And this is the side where the wiring harness comes down. Pretty simple wiring harness. I think I'm actually going to cut that right off and just rewire everything. Been through a couple of forums, and guys are telling me, you know, hey, not really telling me, but just reading up what other people say, as long as you use the same gauge wire or even 1 gauge higher, you should be good on redoing the wiring harness. Here we are just looking inside that rear again, and that red plug that I 3D printed. There you have it. Back in here where the chaos is happening. Hey, if you guys are handy and you're looking for a good restoration to take off of my hands, I don't even remember if this is a 55 or if it's a 53 Farmall Cub. All the parts are here. The only thing is we shattered the final drive on the long tube, and I'll show that to you when we go in this room. All of the parts are here. The rear tires are mismatched. This one has indents on it. This one does not. The tires are in great shape for the rear. The front tires were in bad shape. Everything that you see here has been torn apart, has been regasketed. The final drives have been torn apart, regasketed on the bottoms, the axles, everywhere. If you can put a new gasket or a new something in there, everything is new. Not the gears or all that, but so everything that you see here has been totally built. The hydraulics are in the shed here, and let me see if I can get in here to it. So that is going to go for sale. Yeah, I know, John. You told me that Dozer's going to go for sale too. That's not going to go for sale just yet. There is the tank. So I have not touched it. I have not touched the seat, nor have I touched the battery box. But everything here It's starting to get surface rust from sitting in the dampness of the garage because it gets warm and cold in here. Every part for that tractor is here. The front wheels, the hydraulics. That was my current project. I have the hydraulic unit taken apart. I sandblasted the exterior and primed it, and I did not get to rebuilding all the O-rings, but that was on my list of things to do. Did they need to be rebuilt? No. Everything worked great. But while I was in it, I wanted to make sure that I was putting it back together 100%. Here are all the gaskets for the other final drive. That final drive was splattered. My dad helped me by pressing the gear in, and in doing so, it's on this side here, we fractured this final drive, and I think it's fractured in about 3 places. This final drive is absolute garbage. It's no good. So you would definitely have to buy another final drive. The bearings are here for the final drive, but they are no good because that's what got high centered and fractured that that final drive. Everything else is here. Brand new brakes. I have, I was going to do it 100%. When I got done with it, if it was worn down, it was getting replaced. The axles are pulled apart. Here's the front bolster. Here's the steering bolster. The radiator uprights. The radiator, I believe, is, yep, down there. Nothing has been done to that yet. The exhaust, I was going to fill that with water and freeze it and expand that out so I can get that kink out of there. The exhaust pipe, everything is here, guys. If you're interested in it, I don't know if it's a 55 or a 53. It is a 4-bar grill. All the parts are here, guys. If you want it, man, make me an offer, because I would love to get this stuff out of this room, because as you can see, I got a mess of stuff in this room as well. So yeah, make me an offer. It's either a 55 or a 53. It is a 4-bar grill with the red screen behind it. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. The tractor ran. I have the engine out here. I forgot to show you that. Let me take you back out here. Close this door up. The motor needs nothing. The only thing I was going to do was get it cleaned up and paint it. Here is the engine for that. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It has been sitting for a few years. The carburetor's probably shitted up, from sitting, but it did run the day that we started tearing it apart. As I say, everything in this rear has been totally regasketed. The final drive here has been regasketed, and I was going to do that throughout the entire project, but got sidetracked with this dozer. And I'll be honest with you, if it wouldn't be for that thing, this dozer would never have gotten here, because I knew that I needed that to move my parts around as I took it apart. But eventually, that dozer is going to get back together. As you've seen outside, we're in the process of degreasing. Got so far 5 cans of degrease, big thing of Purple Power, and of course it saves the birds, so maybe it'll save the dozer. Dawn dish soap. So we're going to degrease it with all that stuff, and once we degrease it, if I can't paint it immediately, I spray everything down with WD-40. I know that is kind of contradictory to everything that you're doing, but that way I don't get any more rust than what I have to. So we'll degrease it. If I can't get to priming it right away, because I do want to strip the wiring harness off of it, but eventually, if we don't get it painted, I'll spray it up with some WD-40 so it don't rust. All right, guys, just so you know I don't play around, today I got home from work. We put some time on this, and as you can see, we kind of cleaned the shed up a little bit, put the skid steer back, put some of the other stuff over there, but we have not done anything with this disaster area. So I'm going to turn the light on and show you what we got here. So it's still a dirty old tractor, but it's not dirt anymore. It is literally just missing paint. There are some areas that I hit with the power washer, and the grease is just so thick on there that it would not take it off. And if I did not hit it directly with the power washer, it was not coming off. Here's a little bit of grease here. And if I got a putty knife, we'd be able to scratch that off. But the power washer didn't want anything to do with it. There's a little bit right here as well. So there are some areas that I'm gonna have to go over with a putty knife, and I'm probably gonna degrease it one more time before we even attempt to throw some paint. Yeah, I just seen this right in here. Don't know if that shows up on camera. See if I can get the light in there. Hold on, guys, we're gonna flip you around. Yeah, see that? So I didn't get in there with the power washer, and that is a clump of crud there. And if I come in with a scraper, it'll scrape right off. So we'll probably have to degrease this thing one more time, but it sure does look a sight better than what it did last night when I put it out there. So, hey, one of the cool things about having a 3D printer, yeah, I wanted to seal everything up, and I couldn't figure out how to seal this up. So I took my 3D printer. Oh, can't get that side out. This side was a little less, a little more tolerable. I put a piece of tape around it, and I can't get that one out either. So we'll have to pop that out with a screwdriver. But I actually 3D printed plugs. So if you guys are working on a project and you have a 3D printer, man, utilize that thing. That worked good for keeping the water out of that rear. And that's about all I 3D printed on this. I have 3D printed stuff when I was working both on the case skid steer and also the Bobcat skid steer. You just 3D print to whatever diameter you need, tap it in there to keep the water out. And as you can see up here, we have rubber gloves and it's all electrical taped. I didn't want to get any crud in there. Here's some more stuff. I know I hit this with the power washer, but there's still some more stuff there that will have to come off. So, yep, making John Deere great again, 2024, soon to be 2025. Don't figure it'll be done until probably 2027. Keep checking back to see my quarterly videos. That's about what we're averaging anymore. So, we'll talk to you guys later.